I've been using GPTs for quite some time now, from scripting to coding to helping write these scripts. And I've been tweaking the one I use for Life with Tech a little bit here. And I figured I would dive down and show you guys how it works. Let's jump over to the desktop. Here we go. So I have ChatGPT pulled up here. I've made a GPT. Here we have GPT's main page. We're going to jump to GPTs in here and go to My GPTs. And I have a new one I just created called the Life with Tech Content Engine. Right? If I click on here, it jumps into it. So I have actually 3 options in here: create a YouTube video, format for teleprompter only, and write a blog post. So let's go ahead and take a look at create a YouTube video, because there's a lot going on in here. So if I click on this, it will ask me what show it's for. It says, great, let's get started. What show is this for? It's going to default to Tech Bits, and that's fine. Yes, Tech Bits. And it says, awesome, text bit it is. Do you have a transcript, topic idea, or summary I should work from? So we're going to act like we have no idea on what we're doing here. So typically I would write my script and bring my script back into here and have that help me. But from here, let's go ahead and say we have a title, ChatGPT versus Perplexity. Which AI replaces Google search better? All right, let's say that's our title. We're going to go in there. And then it's going to ask me, is it pre-recorded or is it going to be a live thing? So basically I have this set to, if it's a pre-recorded, it'll give me more detailed information. If it's a live thing, it'll be just bullet points, like talking points. So let's say this is pre-recorded. And it says, great, I'll write a full teleprompter format script for this pre-recorded version. Do you have scene list or rough structure in mind? So I put this in place so if I had an idea of what scenes I wanted, I could put it in. This way we could break it down. By default, it lays it out with 5 scenes, and I'm just going to say, that's fine. We'll leave it towards that. Here it's going to break it into 5 scenes. One with a hook, with an emotional pain point. In this case, it's Google isn't cutting it anymore. Which AI is smarter for search? Scene 2, brief personal story. When I first tried Perplexity, it felt like a new kind of search. But was it better than GPT? Question mark. Scene 3, head-to-head breakdown. Comparison of GPT and Perplexity in areas like accuracy, sources, UX, speed, and hallucinations. Scene 4, engagement question. Which one are you using and why? Drop your answer below. Scene 5, call to action. Subscribe and link to full tools comparison or AI playlist. Now the idea here is you could tweak these, you could go back, but it's asking you, would you like to keep this breakdown or make changes before we begin with scene 1? So I've been using multiple versions of this stuff for a while, and I've combined a bunch of GPTs into one to knock this out of the park all in one thing. So it very much sounds like me because I've incorporated the things that sound like me in here. So I'm going to say, let's go ahead and say that's good, just to keep this running. Awesome, let's jump in the scene. Jump in, ready to start scene 1. I'll begin teleprompter. So now I have it going to what it's called a canvas, right? So it's a text document that we could edit as well. So on the left-hand side is our actual ChatGPT, and our right-hand side is the canvas, where we could actually edit and make changes to the things there. Scene 1 says, ready to start scene 1. I'll begin telling, so we did that. So scene 1, runtime. So I also have it set to give me an idea on how long this would be if I spoke it out. So in this case, scene 1 would take about 45 seconds. Now these are just rough estimates. Everybody talks a little different and whatnot, but I wanted those rough estimates to know how long a video would be. Would you like to revise scene? So I could tell it to remove scenes or make it shorter, or I could just go right into this right-hand side and delete a line just like that, right? Or I could say, please make it under 15 seconds. So that's what it thinks 15 seconds would be. Google search feels broken. Too many ads. So if Google vanished tomorrow, would you pick ChatGPT or Perplexity? Let's find out. So it thinks that's 15 seconds. Okay, so that's good. So we go ahead and say next. Okay, so it's generating. So now it generated the scene 2, brief personal story is what the scene 2 is. It's saying this is 45 seconds and I could choose to make changes in here. No fluff, just answers. When I first tried Perplexity, it felt like a search engine that finally got it. No fluff, just answers fast. But then I started testing ChatGPT's search features and I noticed something I didn't expect. It wasn't just smarter, it was more human. Let me show you what I mean. That's roughly, again, we could go in and tweak it to sound more like us if it needs to be. So let's go next again. So again, it's updating that. It's going down. So now we're into scene 3, head-to-head breakdown. Let's compare them side by side. Speed, sources, accuracy, user. So again, I'm going to say that sounds good. I'm going to keep this going. So next, scroll down a little more here. So now we're in 4, engagement and question. Which one do you use when you need real answers, ChatGPT or Perplexity, and why? Drop your pick below. I read every comment. Great. So let's go ahead and hit next again. All right, so this is chat 5, call to action. If this helped you pick your AI sidekick, smash that like button. Want more deep dives into tools like these? Hit subscribe and check out the full AI playlist. You won't want to miss what's coming next. So that sounds good. We're going to hit next. Sorry, I'm reading from the screen on this. It's not really set up on my teleprompter and whatnot. I'm just trying to give you guys a straight breakdown. So here on the left-hand side, it's going to break down, again, how long each scene should be around, 15 seconds, 45, and then give us a breakdown. And it's telling us it's going to be around 3 minutes for this video. Now it's going to say, let's move on to metadata and thumbnails. It's going to give us an alternative title, because the title what we put in before was just an idea. ChatGPT versus Perplexity, who replaces Google better? I don't like that. Could we say Google search instead? So I don't want it to replace Google altogether. So now I'll put in Google search. Great. So next. So I have it very specifically. It's going to give me a description based on the script that I put in there, what it's going to learn. It also gives me my subscription link, and it also gives me tags. And the other thing too, we could also take the transcription from the video once we've made it and come back and throw that in here, and it will update the description to have the chapter markers as well. So yeah, would you like to move on to thumbnails? Yes. Thumbnails are hit and miss. I feel like you really have to spend some time and make something, but having a dummy image that we could throw in as a placeholder for like reminders apps and other things, it's helpful until you actually make something. I go ahead and just have it make something and we'll replace it with something better. But yeah, let's see what it creates for this. Who replaces Google search better? So it got the Chat GPT icon, right? Which it's its own thing. But the Perplexity, it spelled it right, but put P. It's not using its actual logo. And I'll say great. So now it's going to make a markdown file. So what I do is I would take the share link from here. I'll go ahead and say yes. It'll create a download link for the script for me in markdown format. And here you go. So I could download it. It's downloaded. So what I like to do is I like coming up here to go to share and create a link. And then I'll copy this link and I'll throw it into my reminders and use my reminders to keep track of stuff. This way I could come back to this whenever I needed to or make any little changes. I used to put everything to bare, or really bare, but this whole linking back and forth to everything is, I don't know. I used to use ClickUp a lot and put everything in there. And I'm just, simple is better, right? I was trying to keep everything very simple. Now let me jump to my full desktop view. This way I could pull up reminders real quick. Two is I could just come in here, copy that link again, just come to reminders. I use this Kanban type of style structure. So I would just click plus up here, open this up, throw the URL down here. I would take the title. Usually I would have it in my clipboard already, but I think we made a change to it, right? So scroll back up, place go, no, we wanted this one, right? Put that in there. I also made this copy image. Oh, sorry, I pasted that in the wrong place. So yeah, I need to drop the photo on my desktop before I could drag it in there. And now we have a photo in there, and I can move it. I'm in the scripting phase, so when I start recording it, I'll start moving it down the phases. But anyway, this was a quick look at this. And you know what? I'll close the side out, come back over here and go to Edit GPT, just to show you what it looks like, right? So you end up creating a new GPT, coming in here, you name it, give it a description, and the instructions is pretty much the main prompt. But I also have these conversation starters. That's where I get these 3 boxes. And these link into the instructions. So if I click this little arrow over here and open the instructions, you can see my instructions here. And this was a lot of tweaking and a lot of trial and error on what I want in my actual helper. And this is pretty much what I got. All right, guys, if you found this helpful, man, hit a subscribe in the comments. And until next time.